Welcome to Sports Jam for the week of December 17th. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. Later in the show, in our Sports Jam Spotlight, we'll meet an Osseo wrestler who uses brains and brawn. And we'll look ahead to holiday tournament hockey with the much improved Armstrong-Cooper girls team.
We start with girls hockey. The Lake Conference season is now underway. The Wayzata girls came into league play with an impressive 8-1 mark. Could they keep it up against the tough Lake teams? The Trojans hosting Eden Prairie Saturday. Late in the first period, Allison Kirk makes a nice move around the defender. Her shot is wide, but Caitlin Klein plays it off the back wall and buries the shot. It's 1-0 Wayzata. In the second, Charlie Dahlquist makes a rush for the Eagles and scores to make it 1-1. Third period, Hannah Bangan springs Carly Noble. She's in alone. Their shot is off the post, and it's still 1-1. Miscommunication by Wayzata in its defensive zone gives EP a chance for the go-ahead goal, but McKenna Lorenz makes a great save. We go to overtime. Dahlquist's initial shot is blocked, but a rebound is deflected in by Anna Gravel for the winning goal. Eden Prairie takes it 2-1 in overtime, just Wayzata's second loss.
The Totino Grace girls hockey team carried a 3-game winning streak into their matchup with the Minneapolis co-op team, the Novas. Minneapolis gets a breakaway chance here, but Katie Fuller's shot rings off the pipe. It stays scoreless through the opening period. We jump ahead to the third, and Fuller brings it out front. The shot hits a skate, and Maggie Horstman is there to bury it. The Novas grab a 1-0 lead. A collision near the blue line frees up the puck, and Kristen Delich gets there for the Eagles, but she is poke-checked here by goalie Kelly Winchell of the Novas to stop a great chance. And with an empty net and an extra attacker on, Amelia Vosen feeds Maddie Javornia for the goal for Totino Grace with 29 seconds left, and this one ends in a 1-1 tie.
Now to boys basketball, where Cooper and Wayzata were hungry for a win. The Hawks lost their season opener, while Wayzata had dropped 3 straight to start the season, heading into their matchup with Cooper. A fast start for Wayzata in this one. Bradley Carlson drives to the basket from the wing for a layup as the Trojans go up 12-2. The Hawks come back here on the fast break, and a nice pass results in a layup for Darius Denson. Cooper's back to within 2. Zach Robertson hits the long 2-pointer just before halftime to put Wayzata up 6. Robertson, that's 28 points in the game. Early in the second half, and the Trojans' Nick Ide grabs the offensive rebound and puts it back, and Wayzata is up 10. But once again, the Hawks come back. Rashad Vaughn with a long 3. He had a huge second half for Cooper. Then Billy Kellogg is left open and knocks down a 3 to give the Hawks their first lead of the game with under 9 minutes to play. Jacob Lindgren hits a pair of 3-pointers for the Hawks to put them up by 8, 60-52. Then it's Wayzata's turn to come back. Kyle Calavoda uncontested in this layup. The Trojans are within 3. Final seconds of the second half. Carlson rebounds his own miss, uses the glass to score. The teams go to overtime tied at 65. Drake Mianis played a strong game on both ends of the floor. He scores here for 2 of his 18 points to put Wayzata ahead. Vaughn was tough to stop and shot well after halftime. He nets 33 in the game to tie the game at 69. Last 30 seconds of overtime, and Marquise Gray takes the pass from Kellogg and hits the tough shot in the lane. That's the game winner as Cooper wins a thriller at Wayzata 77-76. The first win for new head coach Steve Burton.
We're going to have a big season this year, and the first win was a great win, so we just got to keep going and keep striving.
I told them, stay poised, stay focused, but keep pressure on them. And that was Cooper basketball, and that's what we're planning on doing for the rest of the year, is playing Cooper basketball, up-tempo. When we need to slow it down, we can do that, but we need to attack the glass, and we just stayed aggressive.
Meanwhile, Osseo moved to number 1 in the state ratings last week, and they face a huge showdown with district rival and second-ranked Park Center Tuesday. The Orioles look to stay unbeaten heading into that game as they faced Andover. Wheeler Baker drives but has it knocked away. The Orioles, though, get it to Rakeem Felder for the hoop and foul for an early 11-0 lead. Former Wayzata assistant Nick Tibesar is now Andover's head coach, and it's a long night for him. Bridge Tussler's layup rolls off, but Ian Tyson is there for the putback and foul. Osseo leads 22-9. Tyson scores 31. Nice ball rotation here for Osseo, leads to an open 3 for Baker, and he nails it. Osseo's all over the Huskies, leading 33-15. It's an almost perfect first half for top-ranked Osseo. Tussler holds for the last shot of the half and nails it. The Orioles take a 48-18 lead into the halftime break. And they keep it up at least early in the second half. Baker will drive to the hoop for the layup here, and a 53-24 lead for the Orioles. Tussler sets up Tyson for a dunk for a little icing on the cake. Osseo rolls to an 83-47 win over Andover.
Osceo's district rival Maple Grove had a slow start to the season. They look to change that on the road against a good Champlain Park squad. And it looks good for the Rebels early. Ian Smith with the steal, ahead to Zach Johnson for the layup, and an 8-2 lead. Nice assist here from Smith on the bounce pass into the lane for Brennan Witt. It's 15-5 Rebels. Witt finishes the night with 23 points. But the Crimson start to shoot their way back into the game. Jake Winicky with the three from the corner. And Bryson Loida drives one all the way to the lane, drops the floater into the basket in the final seconds of the half. Maple Grove is down just 5 points, 40-35. They start well early in the second half, too. Winicky to a wide open Brandon Barta. It's part of a 13-2 run for the Crimson to start the half. Loida passes to Eric Olson, cutting down the baseline for two more. Olson nets 17, and Maple Grove leads by 9. Champlain Park stays within striking distance. Matt Juneau hits the baby hook in the lane and draws the foul. Later, it's sophomore J.T. Gibson with the tough driving layup for 2 of his 18 points. But Champlain Park can't overcome the fast start the Crimson had to start the half. Winicky with 2 here as Maple Grove wins 82-76. The teams play again January 29th. In boys swimming and diving, Wayzata is putting a strong team in the water this season to compete in the Rugged Lake Conference. They hosted Chaska-Chanhassen in a non-conference duel last week. 200 medley relay, Kevin Stowe stakes Wayzata with an early lead, and that lead holds. Greg Arnold swims the Trojans to victory in the anchor leg. Their time 1 minute 47.18 seconds. 200 IM, Chaska's Sean Donnelly crushes the field. His time 2 minutes 4.93. 50 freestyle, Arnold wins the mad dash for Wayzata with a time of 23.7 seconds. Best race of the first half of the meet, the 200 freestyle. Chaska's Benny Richardson and Wayzata's Chris Karlstrom battle to the end. Richardson ekes out the win, 36 hundredths of a second faster than Karlstrom, but Wayzata wins the meet 103-83. And of course, after meets this week, the kids can look forward to some grueling holiday practice swimming.
If they eat a little too much around the holidays, they're going to work it off, no doubt about it. Next up on Sports Jam, boys hockey, plus girls basketball and wrestling. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Sports Jam.
Time to talk boys hockey. Osseo and Armstrong are hoping to get it going after slow starts. They made it at New Hope Arena in the Northwest Suburban Conference game. And it's Armstrong on the board first. Ben Hansen up the left wing, and he sneaks a bad angle shot in. It's 1-0 Falcons. And it looks like they might just get another goal here. A great opportunity for Armstrong coming up, but Connor Dahlberg, a big save in net for Osseo as he stays with it and keeps them within a goal. In the second period, Osseo evens it up. Mason Hodla centers to Rudy Alexander, who will swat it off a defenseman, and it bounces in. It's a 1-1 hockey game. Armstrong's new head coach, Dan Charleston, sees his team regain the lead. Jack McDonough from the blue line puts it in front, and Brady Johnson will sweep it home for the Falcons. They go up by a 2-1 count on Osseo. Osseo, though, ties it up again in the third period, as Tyler Sims has his first try blocked here, but he reloads quickly and fires again, and it gets in. It's 2-2 through regulation. We go to overtime, and Osseo's buzzing the net. They throw it toward the goal, and number 14, A.J. Lyons, will swoop in to put it away. Osseo wins it 3-2 in overtime. Also in the Northwest Suburban, Champlain Park hosting Andover. Late in the first, Jack Gromek feeds Luke Dahlman at the point. His wrist shot gets in. It's 1-0 Rebels. Second period, Andover gets 2 5-on-3 power plays in a row, and they cash in twice on goals by Tyler Tomberlin and then Tyler Vold. The Huskies lead 3-1 through 2 periods. to the third, and Bryce Plunkett with a pretty pass to Calvin Spencer for the one-timer here for the Rebels. Champlain Park cuts Andover's lead to 3-2, but Andover gets it right back. Brady Barthold snaps a shot into the top corner, and the Huskies win it 4-2.
Now to girls basketball. Champlain Park's Rebels opened the season with 4 straight wins before a loss to Maple Grove. Rebels hosted Armstrong Friday. Alexis Alexander takes the Callie Zimmerman pass, gets out on the break, scores, and draws the foul for Champlain Park. Rebels work it inside to Maria Sampson. She spins and scores. Then it's freshman Hannah Crimble scoring in the paint. Champlain Park jumps out to a 19-3 lead. Crimble finishes the game with 10 points. The Falcons get a bucket here as Lyric Williams tracks down the loose ball off the missed shot and scores. And her team is down 33-11 at halftime. In the second half, Alexander and Kelly Heitens run the break. Heitens hits the tough shot. Jedebe Atkins spots up from long range and buries the three-pointer for a 43-15 Rebels lead. They roll to victory 59-26. Rebels are now 5-1.
The Park Center girls basketball team got off to a slow start this season before winning 2 in a row. The Pirates facing last year's Northwest Suburban runner-up Centennial. Centennial's Paige Wojtaszek knocks down a 3 from the top of the key on her way to a 14-point game. Park Center's Kayla McMorris hits a runner here, but her team trails at 7-2, 26 on the night in all for McMorris. The Cougars go inside to Jill Conrad for 2 of her 23 points, and it's 29-18 Centennials. They play well in the first half. The Cougars have a lot of weapons. Deja Morris pops a 3 from the baseline. She scores 22 in the game. It's 40-24 Centennial. Patty Sorensen's Pirates make a game of it. McMorris spins to score. Park Center's back within single digits at 68-59. But Centennial pulls away again. Jasmine Britoy knocks down a 3 as the Pirates fall 82-60.
The Cooper and Wayzata girls basketball teams played 2 close games last season, one in section play, as Wayzata eliminated Cooper in the Section 6 4A semifinals. They played Wednesday last week at Wayzata. Kiana Nickel splits the defenders. Her pass is tipped, but the Trojans keep it. And Katie Schultz dribbles in for the pull-up jumper for the Trojans. Cooper answers here. Chelsea McGee whips the pass down low to Hannah Denur, who feeds Jasper McNeil for the shot. And Cooper goes in front 15-14. A nice crossover by McGee, and she gets the assist on the bucket by McNeil. Cooper leads 21-20. McGee drives and passes to Talia Rich for the drive from the wing. Rich scores 16 points. Cooper leads 27-24 at the half. The McGee to Rich combination works again for the Hawks as Rich drives the baseline to score. Cooper's up 31-24. Things looking good for the Hawks. But Wayzata is far from done. They work the ball around, and it results in a layup for Riley Johnson as Wayzata surges into the lead. Nickel drives and draws a defender before dishing to Schultz for a 3. Now it's Wayzata up 7, 45-38. Schultz scores 24 on the night to lead all scores as Wayzata holds off a Cooper rally to win it 57-54.
In prep wrestling, Osseo and Maple Grove have fairly young lineups this season. Maple Grove's strongest in the lightest weights. Brad Ospachuk stacks Nicholas Carling for the pin in the 113-pound match. Maple Grove wins the first 4 matches on the way to a 19-0 lead. The Orioles control the middle of the match, though. Bahasa Wacko turns Michael Rengel to his back and gets the pin at 170 pounds as Osseo grabs the lead for the first time, 26-22. But Maple Grove pulls out the next 2 matches. Billy Habert gets the throw for a reversal and then pins Cody Malakowski in the 195-pound match. Maple Grove leads 34-26 with 2 matches to go. But it's Osseo with the momentum at the end. Michael Lillis returns the favor as he avoids entry Chim's headlock try. Gets Chim to his back before pinning him in the 220-pound match. Osseo is within 2 points. And A.J. Dean uses a power half to pin Alex Nelson in the 285-pound match as Osseo beats Maple Grove 38-34.
You know, I knew I had to go pin him, so I just went out and just pinned to win. You know, it was fun. Yeah, we're starting to see improvement everywhere. You know, we got some stuff we can even work on from tonight, but, you know, a win is a win, and we'll take it from there.
Nice win for Osseo, and both of those teams went on to beat Rogers later in that evening.
And speaking of wrestling, and Osseo wrestling in particular, next up in our Sports Jam Spotlight, meet an Orioles senior who is a student of his sport. There's no doubt wrestling is a grueling sport, but it might also be one of the most misunderstood. To be successful, a wrestler has to have more than physical ability. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight story, Jason Melillo introduces us to a wrestler who uses mind over matter.
Osseo senior Tony Gamache started wrestling in 8th grade, got serious about the sport as a sophomore, and hit his stride last year.
And there's the pin for Gamache.
I think I finally developed the mental game, because wrestling is huge with the mental stability. You can stay in there mentally, you will most likely win the match, and that's when I went 24-14.
Not every wrestler can think their way through a match, but for Gamache, being smart on the mat trumps physical ability.
He's a methodical wrestler, kind of like my style as well back when I was here. He does a great job of fine-tuning exactly what moves work for him and his body type. He's a little bit lankier, which is a little unusual for a wrestler, but he uses that to his advantage. I start out slow. I wait for them to make the first move, and then I react. More so of a defensive wrestler, I'd say. But then once I get on top, I have a go-to move, the suicide cradle. And so far this season, whenever I hit it, I've received a pin for it, so pretty effective for me.
Gamache was the section runner-up in his weight class last season, qualifying for the state tournament where he lost in the first round. Getting back to state and going further is Gamache's prime goal.
Well, the great part is he's been there once, he's experienced it, and he had since March to think about that. During his training and now in practice, I can guarantee you he's thinking about that every day, about just making it one round. He doesn't want that to be the story. So he's looking to get his name up on that wall as a state placer.
Gamache also starred as a linebacker for the Osseo football team this fall.
And this one's intercepted. Turnabout fair play here. And down the sideline we go. Osseo in for the score. Tony Gamache able to pick that one off and get down the sideline. He is in for the touchdown to even it up.
The Orioles had one of their best defenses in recent memory, and Gamache was usually right in the middle of the action.
A lot of our games, we believe we held the team in it. We gave it the spark because our offense has been great, but they don't start out cold. They gotta get primed up, and I think the defense has always been there for them.
As a senior and someone who's worked his way up the ranks, Gamache now tries to be a mentor to younger wrestlers and thinks he might like to coach the sport someday.
I'm trying to lead a good example for them in school, out of school, and on the mat.
Gamache will likely go to Minnesota State Mankato for college and is considering trying to walk on the wrestling team. Jason Melillo, 12 Sports.
At a tri-meet last week against Maple Grove and Rogers, Gamache won both of his matches by pin. Jay talks girls hockey with Armstrong-Cooper right after this.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. It's been a pretty good start to the season for the Armstrong-Cooper girls hockey team, and they're getting set to host the annual All-Star Sports Holiday Classic next week and the week between Christmas and New Year's. And we're joined by a couple of their players and also Coach Kevin Gray. And we'll start with Marissa Odell. First of all, this season, guys off already beating last year's win total. How much fun has it been to see this progress this team has been making?
It's been a lot of fun because we're putting in a lot of hard work and we've been doing really well.
Did you kind of see this coming? Did you think this team, when practice started, had a chance to be better than last year and improving the way you have?
Yes, I think so. We worked really hard in the off season, so I think that also made a big difference when it came to our real season.
It's been going back quite a few years now that you host a tournament at holiday time. Do you like that? Is it a fun 3 days to get the chance to be the host team and have it at your own arena and everything?
Yeah, it's fun because we also get to play against a lot of our friends, and it's fun to be doing hockey around our Christmas break.
All right, Marissa, thanks for joining us, and good luck in the tournament.
Thank you.
And Mari Verbaten, your team has come out of the blocks and beat some pretty good teams so far. Do you like what you're seeing on the ice?
Yeah, we're really working well as a team, and it's really fun playing and beating really good teams.
We've got another game or two to go before then, but then heading into that holiday tournament, is it one you guys really look forward to each year?
Yeah, it's fun, and it gives us a chance to get ready for hopefully the state tournament in February, because there's 3 games in a row, so it's a good practice run for us.
You'll be able to show off the kind of new and improved New Hope Arena that week, too, for all these teams that haven't been here. Is that kind of exciting also?
Yeah, it looks really nice, and I hope people enjoy being here and playing on our rink.
Now, besides the tournament that you've got coming up, alumni game, and obviously that's more of a fun thing, but is it something where you guys have started to talk about that, how much fun that might be to see some of your old friends and teammates?
Yeah, we really like bringing back the people who have played, and it's fun, but we want to beat them, so it's fun, yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us, and have fun at the tournament.
Thank you.
And Coach Gray, now you're got a good role going with this group so far this year. What's been the difference maybe from last year to this?
Well, last year it took a long time to get to know each other and the girls, some of their strengths and weaknesses, and we were a pretty young team overall last year, and now being able to get another year under our belts, and so we're a year older, and we all know each other's names anyways. So.
Talk a little about the teams coming in for the holiday tournament this year. Who are some of the strong ones to look for?
Yeah, we're really excited about the teams coming in. Buffalo's back, and they've got a tremendous team again this year. Champlin Park, of course, brings back a good team. I think they actually won the tournament last year. Red Wing is back. They've got a couple of really high-end, talented girls, one of which is going to be at the University of Minnesota. So. And ourselves, we want to put ourselves in that mix, but we're excited to have it. We're going to have a lot of family and friends, and local people are able to come and watch the girls and see how we've progressed over the last year or so.
Yeah, it's certainly a good time for all of those reasons, but for your team this year, winning it is probably a realistic goal for the team, I would think, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's number one, we want to win our own and represent our community and our booster clubs that are working so hard for it, but number two, it's a good test for us. You win that tournament with those types of teams, and it shows kind of where our program is at right now.
All right, thanks for joining us, and have fun at the tournament.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, Kevin Gray, the head coach of the Armstrong-Cooper girls hockey team, and we'll leave you with information on the All-Star Sports Holiday Classic coming up next week.
Follow 12 Sports replays and live events on Twitter, Facebook, and Livestream. Watch your favorite high school athletes performing live on your computer or mobile device. Link to us on 12.tv. Our game of the week is a girls basketball matchup between two of the better teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference as Champlin Park hosts Osseo. The game is Thursday night at Champlin Park. You can watch it here on Channel 12 Friday night at 8:30 and 11 o'clock, and also Saturday afternoon at 5. Catch the game live on the web Thursday night through livestream.com. And that will do it for this week's show.
Because of how the holidays fall this year, our next regular Sports Jam will air January 7th.
Both Christmas and New Year's week, we will bring you a best of Sports Jam featuring some of our favorite Sports Jam spotlight stories from 2012. We hope you'll tune in for that. From all of us here at Channel 12 and Sports Jam, happy holidays.